If you're anything like me, the caliber of the golf courses in any area are going to play a pretty large role in whether you're going to consider living there. So if you're considering a move to North Pinellas County, you are in luck because we have some awesome offerings as far as public golf courses go. So in today's video, I'm going to cover the 5 courses that make up the East Lake Corridor, starting south at Tarpon Woods, ending right here at the northernmost one, Fox Hollow. I'm going to cover the courses, the tee times, the fees, and some of them have some really interesting membership programs as well. I'll cover those in detail. Now, if you find this video interesting or useful, please like, subscribe, leave a comment. It's super helpful for me in the algorithm, and I'd appreciate the heck out of it. So without further ado, let's go check out the courses. Our journey begins at Tarpon Woods, the southernmost of the courses. Let's cover the business first. You're looking at $40 for a primetime tee time, and their special membership program is the Freedom Card, which will run you about $50, it'll run you $50, and it comes with 20% discount on range balls and green fees, and 10% off merchandise. I think a few other perks as well. Now, as far as the course goes, I think this is actually a really underrated and fun design. I don't know who the designer was, but the general tendency or rule of thumb off the tee here is you're presented with 2 lines. You can either take the aggressive line that goes around a subtle bend, and if you clear, you're a pitch shot into a green, or you can play the safe line, which has more fairway, more room to work with deep and left or right or whatever direction it's going, and you're more likely to have a clean look at the green, but at the cost of being significantly further back. So it plays with that quite a bit. Hole number 10 is a really good example of that. I'll make sure that's running right now. One other point I want to throw out there, yes, they have newer carts, that as well, but they just reopened their brand new greens, and they did a really good job with the temporary greens when they had to, but now this course is getting some serious love, and I'm pretty excited to see how this course performs over the next few years. I think it's a contender to shoot up the internal rankings list of courses in the area. You combine a good design with new greens and some love from the ownership group. This is a course that's going to be on my radar. So now, who is a really good fit for this course? I would say if you're a newer golfer or a more casual golfer, this is an excellent place to hang your hat. I still think low handicappers will have a great time playing because the design, to me, is so strong. But if you're newer to the game, you want a more casual atmosphere, this is a terrific place to check out. Just a mere 4, maybe 5 minutes up the road is the next course on our journey, and that would be Landsbrook. On the business side, it will cost you $61 for a primetime tee time, and their membership program is the Player Development Membership Program. Here's how that works. It's $50 a month. You get unlimited range balls, which if you live in East Lake and you understand how easy it is to zip in and zip out to this range, that's a really convenient deal. And it has a few more perks. I may award the $11 early bird 9-hole option as the best perk of any membership. I think that's a really fun one that I haven't seen anyone else do, and I would definitely take advantage of that if I were in the area and a member there. They also have a really well kept up members only short game area that I'll put some footage of it right now, you can see for yourself. That's a nice little bonus too. Now let's talk about the course. I actually hadn't been to Landsbrook in quite a while, and I must say I was really impressed. Just like Tarpon Woods, this is a course that's starting to get a lot of love. The conditions looked lush. The golf carts, not only did they have the distances, but they also had, as you approach the greens, the actual slope of the green. I don't know if they had a drone do LiDAR for that, but that's a really cool feature that just makes you go, oh, that's impressive. The design has always been one of the more difficult designs because it is so tight and so penal. If you miss in the wrong area, it could be a 2 or 3 stroke penalty and not just the drop. Like I said, the conditions were really good. The layout's fun. It's got an interesting routing where you loop back and forth quite a few times, and just a fun time out. Again, a little tougher, but good. So it's good to be challenged. Iron sharpens iron, steel sharpens steel, whatever it is. So if you are a pretty consistent player, but not necessarily out there every week, and you're starting to play a little bit more, you want to take off a little more seriously like everyone should, Landsbrook should absolutely be on your radar. Going north of Landsbrook, another 4 or 5 minutes off East Lake, is Wentworth Golf Club. The business side here, it is $49 for a primetime tee time, and their membership's a little different. That'll run you $145 a month, but that comes with unlimited green fees, so you just pay for your cart and head on down, or you can walk for free. There are some restrictions on the time, but I think it's like 1 or 2 o'clock, depending on the time of year. But as far as design goes, I have always had a soft spot in my heart for Wentworth design because I am a little biased. I grew up on the 18th hole here, or the 18th green here. So I played a lot of this course growing up, but man, it is such a varied and thoughtful design. And they were able to do that because it's not weaving through the neighborhood. I guess the back nine is, but the front nine's on one big plot of land where they got to be really creative. And I actually think that shows, because I think the front nine is spectacular. Obviously, everyone knows number 2 is the most difficult hole in all of Pinellas County, but it's more than that. I think every hole provides a lot of strategy off the tee. For instance, number 3, do you go for it or do you lay back and play a safe shot but into a very narrow green? Risk reward there. And I think number 6 is a super underrated hole. I never score well on it, but there's just something about it. It's a little quirky, but something that you would see on tour where you have to hit a very specific shot. It's more penal than you think. If you're right coming out of the chute, then you have a potentially obstructed view of it. You have to shape the ball a certain way. Big fan of the hole, big fan of the course. I would say if you're an absolute stick, you know how to work your way around a course, and you want to play a lot of golf, I'm talking at least once a week, this is a course and membership program that you may want to consider. Quick break in the action for the shameless plug. If you find this video and the other ones I'm doing like it useful, I'd love the chance to be your real estate resource, whether that's in 2 months or 2 years from now. My info's in the description, so shoot me an email, get on my weekly email list to get videos like this directly to your inbox, along with mortgage rate updates and a brief local market breakdown. Now, back to the courses. Next up on our list is Crescent Oaks. Let's talk about the business first. You will be paying $74 for a primetime tee time as of now. And when it comes to their membership, they don't advertise it on the website, and they sent me some of the details, but out of respect for their marketing plan, I'm not gonna flash that on the screen, but I will give you the highlights for what I would consider their signature membership, which is their player development membership. It's $49 a month. It's free to walk after 1 or 2 p.m., depending on the time of year. And it comes with a bunch of other nifty perks, absolutely worth checking out. I actually did some work for them and helped design their website, do some video and photography. If you actually go on their homepage and click that video, that's my voice narrating the commercial and the entire course hole by hole preview. As far as the course goes, I think this is probably the most playable and most accessible of the designs. I think it's a lot more open, a lot more forgiving than the other holes. Take a look at number 1 is a really difficult opening tee shot, but from 2, 3, 4, it gets a lot more scoreable. So I'm a big fan of the design. It's usually in really good shape too, and I gotta give a shout out to the ownership group, the staff, management that works there, particularly Jesse Pratt. What he did here to bring the course to where it is, and what he's doing now at Plantation Palms, always deserves a shout out whenever these courses are mentioned. So gotta give a shout out to my guy Jesse. If you are the kind of guy or gal who loves a good league night, Crescent Oaks is the place for you. In my opinion, I think they've got one of the best league nights around. They've got a really competitive, good group of dudes. It's always a fun time, and highly recommend it. So if camaraderie is the top of your priority list when it comes to clubs you want to play consistently, Crescent Oaks should be on your list. Finally, Fox Hollow, our northernmost member of the East Lake corridor. It's a little bit off East Lake, but not much. And in my mind, I always stick this in the group with the rest of them, so here it is. For the business side, you're going to be paying $70 for a primetime tee time. And I'd like to give you details on membership, but they're completely full. It's so popular right now, as it should be. There just isn't any room for new members. Talking about the course, this is another one that I hadn't been to in a while, and after taking a look around, getting some footage, that definitely needs to change. It's a Robert Trent Jones design. I think it may have actually been his last design. I don't know that for a fact. I heard that one time somewhere and I've been running with it. So if someone wants to fact check me on that one, I'd like to know for sure. It is one of the more intricate and nuanced designs because it's the only one in the area that plays with elevations, humps, crumpled fairways, hollows, knolls in the fairway for awkward lies. It has a lot of those details that you see on Sunday when you're watching the pros come down the stretch where you're like, oh, it doesn't really affect the shape of anything, but it's just nice eye candy. It has a lot of that. And the design is very much an RTJ design in that nearly every tee shot has two options. You can either play into or over the obvious hazard, whether that's water or a string of bunkers that are typically set diagonal to the line. So the more you go one direction, the more you have to bite off. And the reward for that is a much closer shot to the green where you're pitching or chipping or something like that. Or you can play the safer option where you eliminate all of the hazards and all of the mess and you're guaranteed pretty much a good lie. The reward for that also is that you have typically the best look at the green because that's where the entrance usually is and it runs, that's where the depth of the green typically is as well. But the trade-off, of course, with any safe shot is you're going to be significantly, or maybe not that significantly, further back. So it's a lot of risk, a lot of reward, and the closing stretch here is iconic with the 8th hole being memorable for all who played it. If you played it, I guarantee you remember the 18th hole. You probably remember it as a par 5 because it's kind of intimidating. It's actually a par 4. I forgot that because I remembered it as a par 5, so I assume you did too. The person who this is an ideal club for to play regularly is someone who places a premium on conditions and design, and you're totally fine. You understand you will be paying a relatively higher tee time in the area, but you're absolutely getting your money's worth, in my opinion. I hope you found this video interesting, and if there's a topic on golf in Tampa Bay you'd like covered, please drop it in the comment section below. After all, I'm trying to make stuff that you find interesting. So thanks for watching. See you next time.